Minutes from the last meeting, which was 12th of September.
I sent them out.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, all
I
right.
did a quick read.
All right, okay.
I make a
I've read them
motion.
once, but I'm gonna look quick.
And I second it.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. LBJM, CK. And will you folks identify yourselves, please?
Brody Quinn.
I'm sorry?
Brody Quinn, Brodie. Last name is Quinn.
Peter Shaw, SH, oh, okay.
Marie, Shannon, Brian. Okay. Brian Cruey. Adam. Who is Adam?
He's with Forest also.
Oh, okay. Adam, what's his last name? Adam, what's your last name? You're muted.
Still having dinner.
Adam?
Aye.
Hello?
It's,
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
What's your last name?
Mazzantini. So it's Mazzantini.
I had that.
Okay, wait, Mazzaneni. Okay, all right.
So not E, but T as in Tony.
Oh, Mantini, okay, Teeny.
I like that.
All right, I got it. What is going on out there?
Fire trucks.
No, I don't like the truck.
And we have a phone. Do we know who the phone is? It's not. All right.
Okay. Informal. We have a Ben Handy, trees at the knoll.
Ben is not here yet, but I think he's going to be. I have gotten several phone calls from a Mr. Witt who lives at the knoll, who is very concerned about two trees that are down behind, he's at in the carriage house. He's got two trees down, I think Lisa knows about this.
saw it, yeah.
They are down on the riverbank, I guess, and he is very concerned that they are going to fall on his house. And they are.
They're big. I
Yeah.
didn't walk down there. I think we need to walk down and just
Yeah.
eyeball it. Yeah.
He's like really worried.
Yeah.
And we also got a call from the general manager of the property. He called and Ben Handy called, and Ben is theoretically going to be here tonight. And I told them I would give them the tree form, they could fill it out. And we can go take a look. So that's that.
I've had about three conversations.
Didn't you go and look? Did you go and look?
Because it's not a formal application yet. He doesn't own the property. He owns a condo.
But the,
Condo association doesn't own the property.
all right, but the property owner did call,
Well,
so,
that's nuisance
Property
this
owner or
morning.
property manager?
manager, I guess.
That's nuisance this morning.
Okay, well, we'll get that
So
figured
the
out.
condos are afraid that the trees on the neighboring property are going to fall on them?
I guess his condo is the carriage house. And he's worried that these trees are gonna fall on his condo, so,
And they're big trees.
They're big trees.
But the river's right there, so we
Yeah.
they're right by the river.
so,
They
anyway,
probably lean away from the woods towards the opening.
yeah.
You know, I told him I'm sympathetic, but we gotta go through the right channels.
We have to have permission from the property owner, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say cut him down if he doesn't own the property.
Right.
And we need to look, because I would want to know
Yeah.
how they're going to get the equipment down there. It's
Yeah,
steep.
well, Ben is really good at that sort of
Yeah.
thing, so if Ben's doing the work, I would feel confident with him not messing it up. We also have a tree,
Just 1 second. So do we set a site visit now or wait until
Let's wait till we get some,
paperwork?
if he shows up tonight, we'll set
he's
something up.
supposed to be here, so we can settle that. We also have our very first official tree request from Bruce Rubin on the lake. 29 Mackinac Terrace. And he has a hickory nut tree with basal decay, and he sent a picture of it. And he wants to take it down. Right there.
Yeah, it's got an issue.
Yeah. So the question is, are we just gonna vote and
How
say,
close to the lake?
go ahead? House distance, 10 feet from trees to be removed from closest structure, 40 feet. His property is on the lake. And so we can set a site visit and go take a look. Somebody can go take a look, and then
Just there.
we can just let him know.
All right, we have a phone number?
Yes, we do. We have his phone number on the
Okay,
form.
I'll get it after. Okay, up next, public hearing. 21 Lakeview Drive? Stone patio and retaining wall? We looked at this, they were gonna do some
Yeah,
changes?
spoke about this last time about trying to put in a patio. So this is the disturbed area down below the house in between the lake and the existing building. And they've decided to just go with the original plan, which was to loam and seed the area 3-to-1 slope with some boulders essentially for steps to the door. Before that, I submitted a request for a partial certificate of compliance for the work that has been completed.
Right.
Got that. And then this is essentially an RDA we submitted to finish the work under, that didn't get completed on the original order of conditions, which expired. And it's the same work as was initially
Same,
approved under that order of conditions, with some improvement to this drain pipe that, the rain gutter to a stone apron, which is an improvement over the existing gutter that runs essentially into the
So,
silt fence there, so.
and this is a question, if that expired, does it need a new?
The order of conditions expired, so that's why they've asked for the partial certificate of compliance, which I
Right, but to do the new, to
can't get any of that.
finish
I'll pull it up.
the original order work was, does that need a new RDA?
Pull it up.
So we had decided that this would just be loamed and seeded, which I think is a pretty minor activity and improvement, so.
Rob, you're killing me.
Well, it's essentially an RDA to finish the driveway as it is, so that all this stormwater stops running.
Right, but that's not
On the hill.
about, the new RDA to finish that.
It's a new RDA rather
Yeah,
than
a new
another notice of
RDA.
intent.
I have no problems with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, no, that's fine, just as long as we have the right paperwork.
Find this and then we'll vote.
So we need a bigger box. Or we need fewer applications, one or the other. And, or not so fat ones. Not so fat ones would be good.
I should have brought a copy, I did not.
I can't.
So
We
while she's
need to
looking,
vote
the-
on the certificate.
The certificate of compliance was for the basement was up on posts and they put a full basement in. So this now has a full foundation, and then the beginning of the driveway or what is now there for the driveway with retaining walls, that work was all completed. And most of that's all outside the buffer zone, so it's really just this foundation, and that's been completed. So it's a partial certificate for that that's been completed with some regrading. And then the RDA separately for this work that was not finished in the 3-year time period.
So we'll vote to close on the original RDA
certificate.
partial certificate.
Yeah,
Okay, so I make a motion to issue a partial certificate
yes,
for the original.
Right.
RDA.
yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's half done.
Okay. And then if they're not doing the stone patio, then that's off the table, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So we're
So
actually.
the RDA will just be the driveway repairs, finishing the retaining wall and putting in the infiltrators in the
Nothing's,
driveway.
nothing's changed. We don't even have to vote on that.
Yeah, we do.
Do we?
Yeah, because it's.
Because it expired.
Because
Oh,
it's,
expired
because
again.
the order of conditions expired.
So
So we had to issue the certificate of compliance to close out that part of the project. And then they've refiled as a request for determination, just the final
Great.
stages of the project that was not completed under the order of conditions.
Right, so we're seeking a negative determination on the completion of the work that's unfinished.
We should close this out with a negative determination
okay.
to allow the project to finish up, continue.
So,
So
motion?
you word it and I'll.
That's okay, I got it.
You got it?
A negative
Somebody make a
determination.
motion.
I'll make a motion.
Approve a negative determination
Yes.
for the RDA to complete the project from the original.
Right. Second?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right, that project's done.
Thank you.
All right.
11, is it actually 11 Rattlesnake Mountain
It's
Road?
13 and I keep forgetting to change it.
Hey, can I ask one question before we move on? Does that mean you're going to seed where you said you wanted to seed and get that all done now?
Correct.
Okay.
No,
Instead of
no
the patio.
patio,
No,
no,
you're just seeding it though right now?
Right.
Soon, okay.
and a couple steps off the
Right.
sliding door,
Okay,
Okay.
some sort of landing.
thank you.
All right.
13 Rattlesnake
13
Rattlesnake
Rattlesnake
Mountain
Mountain Road.
Road. We had David Cameron went to the site.
I think Bill went
Yep,
and Chuck, you went,
right, and also,
And I think
Lisa went.
some of the butters were there maybe.
yes.
Kentucky.
Arthur was there, yeah.
All right.
Who was there, Arthur?
Arthur.
Stan was there? No?
No, I didn't see, I don't know who Stan is, but I just saw Arthur.
He was the
Yeah,
judge.
Jack.
He was with Arthur last time, the older
It
guy.
was just Arthur.
Should I read this?
Yeah,
Yeah, Dave's here too.
Dave's here, okay.
Oh, there it is.
There you are.
Just to fill you in, I did inspect the property last Friday. Unfortunately, I could not confirm the wetland boundaries because there were no survey flags left with any labels. In fact, most of the flags were either missing entirely or on the ground. It appears that 2 separate delineations were done and at different times. Along parts of the BVW boundary, that was obvious. I saw remnants of both blue and pink flags. The pink flags appearing to be potentially a season older than the blue. I'll note that the plain pink survey flags, much newer, were also used to mark the property boundaries. I did some soil boring in the general vicinity of the proposed house, and they were not hydric. I almost said hydraulic. The majority of the area proposed for work is pretty clear upland forest composed mainly of eastern white pine and sugar maple trees. In order to confirm where buffer zones extends to the wetland boundaries of the properties would need to be flagged refinished. And for me to make a subsequent visit, I'll be happy to discuss this inspection and the results and the resulting impressions in more detail during tonight's meeting. So the soils are fine. Boundaries need to be reflagged or some such thing. Where the buffer zones are and the boundaries for the wetlands, there may be some flags there,
It
but
was flagged a while ago, so I'm happy to go reflag it. The question I have is regarding Emily Stockman, an independent consultant, peer
We're
review.
waiting for David's
Oh,
review, and then we'll,
And
I still want.
so I'm sorry to interrupt, is David's review in place of Emily?
Not necessarily, but perhaps. David did the initial review, and then if we felt that we needed Emily, we would get her.
yeah, I think if we can see where you're shaking your head, you want to say something?
I don't think it's fair to the applicant to have two different peer reviews. I think you need to pick one or the other.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, once it's reflagged and you look at it, if it looks okay, I'm
Then
fine
we're
with that.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine with that.
So as a course of action, hi, David, as a course of
Hi.
action, we'd go rehang the flags clearly and sort of freshen them up, let you know it's been done. You can contact David, he'll go back out, verify, and then we'll come back and do this and
yep,
take the next steps, left or right.
that sounds fine.
Yep.
Okay, happy to do that.
If there's any flags that are,
I'll take all the old ones down.
That's it,
Right,
exactly, yeah.
Right. So we'll hang in blue. Typically blue, obviously, is wetland. Orange should always be boundary or something else. But we'll hang in blue so we know what it is.
right,
Okay.
so,
I'd only add one more thing, Rob.
Yes.
I think you had specific labels for each flag. That's helpful just to get my bearings. And if I could get a full-size paper hard copy when you're done, that would be fantastic.
Absolutely. So I'm happy to do that. Should I leave the full-size physical print here with the Conservation Commission, David? How would I get it to you?
That's fine. I can pick it up at town hall.
Okay,
when he comes out, the
Mailbox.
flags will pick up from,
okay,
all right?
very good. I dropped off another NOI today for 25 Church Street. You will need a bigger box. I'll have a couple more coming. I was wondering if it was possible if you guys are scheduling site visits, to sort of get out in front of this a little bit, could we schedule one for 25 Church? Or would you rather open the hearing first?
What do we got possibly for other site visits? Hang on just a
We don't
second.
have it yet.
And did you send an electronic copy too?
Yeah, yes, he did.
I prefer to send electronic because it's a lot of paper going out of my office.
It is a lot of paper, but we do need,
Coming here, too.
we don't need all 100 copies,
I send 5.
and they're fat.
I want you guys to have all the information, Sally.
They're fat. Fat.
Don't let me skimping on anything.
All right, so let's set one up.
Great, I'd appreciate that.
This Friday's not good. This week is not good. First of next week,
And it's a full moon. Mm-mm.
It's beautiful driving down. I came from Williamstown tonight.
yeah, I don't care. Next week, anytime, pick a day.
It's October.
Thursday afternoon?
Thursdays are never good for me, or at least I don't think they are. I don't know.
I'm away Friday, but I can drive by and see it if everyone else can go Friday.
Wednesday.
Is it something I can see
It's
the road?
Yeah, so it's 25 Church is the house is on the left as you're heading out Church Street.
Doesn't have
Nothing-
a fence.
Yes, that's the one.
Do we want to do it earlier in the week? Because this gentleman with the trees are going to be hot to trot to get us out there.
They are.
That's fine with me.
Okay,
I have nothing on Monday. It's a
Perfect.
bloody miracle.
I'm good with Mondays. Afternoon,
Tuesdays.
I can't, but you can go without me on this. I'm
4 o'clock?
busy. Well, if you do 4 o'clock, I can maybe get there.
Just throwing it out.
4
4
o'clock.
o'clock on Monday, okay, I can maybe do that.
What's the date on that?
October 2nd.
October 2nd,
We're all ready.
4 o'clock.
Actually, can
Okay.
make it, I'm sorry, 4:30, would 4:30 be imposing?
Yeah, we have a 5 o'clock meeting. We're gonna do it, I'd like to do 4.
4, okay.
4,
All right,
4:15?
4 o'clock. I'll be there 4 o'clock, all right? And,
okay, 4 o'clock.
all right, thank you all very much, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I'll notify when we reflag. All right, thanks, have a good night. Thank you.
Okay, next. Seventeen Mackinac Terrace. A deck.
Yeah. So I am Brian with Foresight, representing Ruth and David Epstein, who own 17 Mackinac Terrace. It's an existing house that is about 85 feet from Stockbridge Bowl. The existing house is within existing setbacks, so it's a pre-existing non-conforming structure, but what we're proposing with the RDA is to add a deck, 112 square feet, 113 square feet, within this corner of the existing house, so it's no closer to the lake, it's no closer to the setbacks. It's within the existing non-conformances. It's on the first story, so it's a walkout basement, so it's 8 feet above the lawn. So it's essentially a minor activity to convert lawn to a raised deck. The only thing that would be actually in the lawn itself is a 6x6 post to hold one corner of the deck up.
Is there a roof or is this just decking?
Just a deck. No, not a covered porch or anything. Open deck. There's no vegetation removal proposed, maybe some pruning of this tree, but it's well outside the 35 feet from the lakefront. We submitted an LPOD special permit request as well because it's in the 150-foot lake overlay. And a special permit will be needed as well, but it's not any more non-conforming than the existing structure. So
So the deck is in the little,
it's in the corner of the existing house and it protrudes less than the existing walls.
Anybody want to see this?
yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're out on Monday.
3 o'clock.
3 o'clock, I can do that.
Let's do 3 o'clock.
I won't be there.
All right.
3 PM.
I probably won't be there. Saturday.
And there's no plan to enclose it for living space?
Not to my knowledge. No.
Oh, I would-
It's an open
Yeah, we would
deck with a railing.
condition
Doing
that,
piers,
Okay.
yeah.
He said one, right?
One
Sonotube.
pier, it's proposed 6x6 post. It would be on a sonotube.
So,
is there any issue with getting equipment back to it to dig the hole? Are you gonna dig it by hand or?
I don't know that exactly, but it's pretty accessible right here. You'd be maybe 90 feet from the lake to do that.
You can get equipment back there?
Yeah, it's accessible.
All right, we'll go look.
If it's not any closer to the lake, then I don't know how concerned we are about whether they enclose it or not.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I don't feel real concerned about it.
okay.
It's 85
I think
feet.
that would affect more the special permit than, conservation wise. If they were to do that, it'd be a different permit. So that's not the plan as proposed.
Okay, we'll be there at 3 PM
Yeah.
on the 2nd.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Stormwater permit. Is that you again, Brian?
It is, but, the notice of intent was approved last
Right.
meeting.
We're gonna
So this is to
sign
review
that.
the stormwater plan that we submitted, if you had time to review it. And Adam is on if you have questions about it. He did the actual stormwater plan. But
I don't think we had any.
generally, it doesn't increase stormwater runoff off of the site because they're planning to revegetate a lot of it with plantings and
I don't think we had any
Meadow.
concerns about that, but it just had to be filed.
So I just had one question. Was it stamped by the engineer? Because I don't think I saw it checked off.
this was not, we usually don't stamp them for the notice of
Not
intent.
necessarily for stormwater, but for the original notice of intent, yes.
The original notice of
Yeah.
intent was, okay.
Is that true, Adam? She's on.
Some of
I
it,
don't believe it.
it's,
It wouldn't be
sometimes
stamped.
it's sort of almost a supplemental thing to the notice of intent, because we've already reviewed it pretty thoroughly when they have to do the
Yeah, I
stormwater.
don't believe it was stamped, not to my knowledge. We typically, usually have them stamped upon request, but don't submit them with a stamp.
Can we,
We do always want them stamped and
Yeah.
signed.
can we request that it gets stamped?
Okay.
Just send us a stamped plan.
Thank you.
The stamped site plan or the stormwater plan itself?
Stormwater plan.
Okay.
And then you can do the checkoff box that it was stamped.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, need a motion. Close.
Motion to close?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And the notice of intent,
We've got that here to sign, yeah.
okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What do we have at 20 Ice Glen Road?
SK. If there's anybody.
That one, I did want to do a site visit for.
Well, that'll be continued then. Sixteen Beechwood Drive, tree removal.
Good evening,
Hello.
Shannon Holmesworth from White Engineering. I think over the years, several of you have become familiar with this property. This is 16 Beechwood Drive, owned by Farhan. I have a slightly revised drawing for you from the original submission in the notice of intent.
Are you folks here for a specific thing?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll get to,
So, the Bernhan and I've been working with Windy Hill Nursery to develop this planting plan for the property. It is surrounded by lake, Stockbridge Bowl, and an intermittent stream. So there was in the last application a no mow line established along the lake and the intermittent stream. So they're adding some vegetation to the property, woody vegetation, to kind of create a wooded buffer along the lake. So that would not be tempted to be mowed, and might help keep the geese off the property. So the proposal, this plan shows 1, 2, 3, and 4 as outlined in the list. Winterberry, low-growing sumac, and then a raised vegetable bed on a hemlock timber area, which is number 4. Yes.
The sumac's not native. Are native.
This one is.
Really? The low-growing sumac is native?
Yep.
Huh, okay.
This is the fragrant sumac.
Yeah.
And, yep, these are short ones. I questioned that as well.
Yeah.
And Simon told me, yes, it was native. And I did look it up.
And it is,
And
okay.
and it is. So also there are two large willow trees that are in poor shape that are going to land on the house across the lake, on the boats, at the boat dock, that they would like to take down. Those are these two right here. And then we're going to plant 2 more trees somewhere in that area, which is fairly wooded. So where they can get those in, those will be native trees, maybe willows or maples.
Are they in the bank?
No, nope. It is in the wetland though. These plants are gonna be put in 3-gallon pots, so they're gonna be 4, 5, 6 feet in height when they're planted. The sumac will be 1 foot in height when it's planted. And it's all gonna be done by hand. No need to bring equipment in to plant these.
The replacement for the willows, have a guess of size for those? Are you gonna do potted plants again, or?
Yep, those will be the 3-gallon pots, 5, 6 feet in height.
Yeah.
2 to 1.
2 to 1, okay.
Shannon, where's the property?
It's this one right here.
Right here? Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
It has a stream that runs right through between, it's off of the main road there.
Yeah.
You drive in and there's a garage. And then as you go a little further, there's a stream that goes through. And we had asked that they expand the plantings along the stream bed. It was being mowed close. We planted some trees on the roadside of the garage. And then we had conversation about the 35-foot buffer that's supposed to exist according to the LPOD, which did not. And so we put in a no cut zone.
Right.
And they didn't like what was growing there. It was a lot of junk. And so they wanted to have some better plantings.
Just a minor thing. He didn't sign it. His name is typed, but it's on the signature line, so shouldn't he sign it?
And the notice of intent? Because we do those electronically, we just type them in on the EDP forms.
Okay, so we don't get a real signature on that?
We used to have to.
No, we don't?
Now it's, you've got the PDFs and you've got
Okay.
you can have the funky little signature that you do with your finger or you just type it.
Okay.
Yeah, in the EDP forms, we just type them in. Yeah.
The signatures that you couldn't possibly ever read. So do people want to see it? Some of
I
us
don't
are
need to.
very, very familiar.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
And I learned something, so thank you. I didn't know what that
Yeah.
was.
A native sumac. Okay.
Yeah, I
You're
think
gonna, the trees, the stumps will stay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I ask that they stay high.
could this show that it's a 2 to 1 planting for the willows?
Yes.
All right.
Yep, I can update that.
I'll
Of
put it
whatever
in.
native species you,
I'll put it in too.
okay. Make a motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very
I have
much.
a lot of paperwork to do next time.
Thank you. May I take a couple more minutes of your time or moments?
Yeah.
So Meredith Savitt and Philip Rosenberg, we submitted, some of you were at a site visit, but I didn't see it on the agenda for
It's on the
upcoming.
Agenda,
Well, it's on
It
upcoming.
is?
yeah.
It's on the back, right?
Okay. Okay, it's there. Mine. Okay. Can I provide a little more information? So we filed the notice of intent and the stormwater report, and we have responses from DEP with comments about, we should have filed this as a limited project for greater than 10% of the riverfront area, being altered, although we're doing a revegetation plan. We've been working with Webster Landscaping on the planting scheme and the tree counts for what needs to come down. I know, Lisa, you had a question about the overall site.
Yeah. So,
Was that? And it was 22% of the driveway is in the riverfront area.
and is the cutoff? And I don't want to go into too much detail because it wasn't
Right,
on the
right.
original agenda.
That's upcoming business.
Yeah, it's upcoming, so I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'll look at this. And I guess my request would be, Mark talked about an alternative analysis, is that the shall, it's not a may, it's a shall, that you really have to do that. And
Yes.
So I would want to see that.
There is in the narrative, talking about the different locations along the frontage that the driveway could go in, and that they're not adequate, either site distances or grades, and they'd be closer to the river.
Okay. And is it 10% of the entire original property or just of this? Because that was his other comment.
Yeah, 10% or 5,000 square feet
Of the original,
of the original.
and it is.
No, this is greater. That's why we're asking for the limited project.
Okay, so that's a big consideration.
So the driveway, we're talking the driveway now, or the total project is 10 more
We're
than?
talking the driveways.
Yeah, the driveway is between the inner riparian zone and the outer riparian zone, and then the rest of the driveway and the house is outside of that jurisdiction, but is covered under the stormwater permit for the entire site.
22% of the original project was a big chunk of riverfront.
Yes. Access to this property with the grades that are out there is difficult, and this was the quickest way to get outside of the riverfront area, was to access from this point, and then switch back to keep that turning radius and keep the grades down.
That's a big chunk of it. I don't know if you guys want to see it, but I actually went out and couldn't stay, so I didn't walk it. I just went out there, but if you can give us a written response to
Yes,
Mark, we appreciate that.
we will, and I have a construction sequence for you as well.
When you walk it, you see that going along, this is probably the,
So he had comments, I sent him questions about his comments, and he sent back more detailed explanation that I sent out to everybody. So
All right.
look at it.
I'll check on that.
Yeah.
but when you walk it, you see, I can't see a better way of doing the driveway. And the way it goes up, it's the least intrusive to the hillside. It's pretty cool. Actually, the property, you can see where there's an old abandoned road that used to actually run about 20 feet up it along the edge, along the whole road.
But our purview is the interests, of the act and
Right.
protecting the interest of the river, not providing them with a driveway. So that's our job.
I mean, the river's on the opposite side of the road. We are managing all the stormwater on site. It's not leaving the site. And the stormwater reports are in there.
Yeah. We'll talk.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
So look at Mark's explanation.
Is that,
Look at his further explanation. of
Yep.
Okay,
I think it's very
we
valid.
have one more, right?
Did we skip anything?
No. We have these two
We
guys.
have Brian Cruey is on the, regarding a non-keg
Is that on here?
Yes.
It's further down.
business. So there were some concerns raised about the mowing. And also, we are still awaiting the somebody to present the stormwater for the driveway or for the walkways that were done last year.
Brian?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
So,
Yes.
So, I mean, I know she sent the plans, but we need to have it presented in front of us for the work that was done under the stormwater regulations in the town. There's stormwater, you need a stormwater permit because the work that you did there on the bank below the property is more than 10,000 square feet.
Yes.
Yeah. So we need somebody to come in and talk to us about that.
Okay. I'll have them come in. Who should I get them in touch with to schedule that to get on the agenda? I mean, I think that they can do it soon. I think they.
Yeah, if they want to be on the next agenda, we can put it on.
Okay.
That'll be October 10th.
October the 10th.
Yep.
And then just as the next one is then 2 week or the next Tuesday, the fourth Tuesday.
Yes.
Just
10th or the 24th.
the 10th or the 24th. Okay.
So just let me know.
Okay, I will definitely have them do that.
Okay, great. And we're looking forward to the mowing.
Yeah, question about the mowing too.
yeah, try to address the mowing of that field. I know it was wet. Well, still wet.
Wetter than ever, as a matter of fact.
I saw it for the first time. Is it done every year that it's mowed right up to that stream?
Yes, so we mow it every year, pretty close to that, because every year the state comes in and, basically clear cuts that part of the field, that ditch anyway, for mosquito control.
Yeah.
So, we've just never really maintained much of a perimeter around that, or historically when we mowed it, and we do, it's usually about once a year, just once.
What is mosquito control?
There is a team of people from the state that kind of come in and, like, as a mosquito control measure, will cut that down, once every now and then, like, we'll see just people down there cutting it, and we ask, and they are from the state.
That seems like that needs some sort of permit.
Is it DCR? Do you know who it is?
I will look into it and see if we have any record of who it is, but it's, no one schedules it with us, or, and we're just kind of like, all right, if that's.
If you could find out, because we could do a permit for successive years. It should be permitted in some way, because they go really close to that stream.
It's always so random too, it's never scheduled, it's never like consistent, it's, sometimes it happens and we are not even there, it's.
But how did they come to do this? So this is all news to us. How did they come to do this, and who are people from the state? This isn't the regular mosquito control, right? I don't know anything about this, so it's confusing. What?
There's some sort of.
But it doesn't usually cutting, it's
No.
when the
always-
town contracted with mosquito control, it was spray, which is.
And we canceled that. It got voted out.
Right, so who are these people and how do they get permission to do
So maybe you can find out when they come with.
Do your best to see what you can find out
Who it
there.
is.
I will do my best to try to find it out, or just, but it's, like I said, it's always kind of random. It's very unscheduled. So we've never really maintained much of a perimeter around it. If you want us to start doing that, we're happy to.
Okay.
Well,
Just let us know what you would recommend.
let's work something out.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess start by finding out who it is,
Yeah.
so we can ask them to come for a permit.
I mean, I'm not guessing anyone's doing that for fun or like, as a form of vandalism. I'm like, you wouldn't do that if you weren't paid to, by somebody.
Are they, it's not the trustees,
No.
then who the heck is it? That's really bizarre, I have to say.
Yeah, no, it happens.
David, any clue who these people might be?
Let me
yeah.
ask,
I
let me
just
ask
Googled
Riley.
it.
What do you have?
Okay, well, that would be good.
I
to know.
think there actually are some exemptions, like archaic, maybe historic exemptions from mosquito control work. I don't know, I don't know much about it. I've never been involved with it. And my understanding is most of that stuff was happening more towards the eastern part of the state. The fact that they've decided to go and do this stuff at this random property that's owned by the trustees in Stockbridge is really interesting.
I found
But
something.
if I were a representative of the trustees or I was a steward of that property, I'd be saying, who are you people? Give me contact information and name for who's in charge of this program.
Especially like.
What gives you the authority to come onto our property and do this? I'd be really interested if I were the trustees to get the answer to those questions.
Yeah. Especially because.
It may be that there are some exemptions for this stuff, but what,
19 Harris Street.
That's what. Or,
Okay, well, we'll sort it out.
No, I'll start
It
doing.
was, when I walked by, Brian, it was so wet. I mean, whenever they did
What
it,
about
it was
this?
very, very wet, so it was really deeply rutted.
Well, I mean, one of the, I think, challenges this year was, we did it at a time when it was the driest that it had been all summer, like it was, it's just been so wet this year. And we try to maintain that field, because just as that meadow, we try to protect that. It's a calciferous meadow. We really try to maintain it in a very ecological way, and it's just a yearly mowing is one of those ways. So just for the invasives and woodies that pop up in there. So we actually mowed it a little earlier than we probably would normally, just because we had a dry spell. Like we usually like to even do it a little later in the year. But it's been a challenging year.
I think this is it. Because it has the state.
Yeah, our field is required to be mowed by the conservation restriction. It has to be mowed every year, so it might, yeah.
So, I mean, it's, maybe that was a bad judgment call, but, it's just one we felt,
Okay. Well, let's figure out who these people are and why they're doing what they're doing.
I'll put my detective cap on
Just shoot me an email, please.
Yes, I will. And I will schedule Elizabeth to present on the stormwater management plan.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank
All right,
you.
we have Matt Punton here is from SK.
Let's get these guys to.
Because they've been waiting a long time.
Okay. Wheatley Drive. Okay.
He's with me too.
I'm here with those guys too. Can I come up?
Oh, come on up. Everybody come up.
But Matt's doing, Matt, are you doing,
State design for 20 Ice Glen Road?
yes,
38?
yeah,
Yeah, I sent you an email, said I'd.
yeah, I know,
So
I know.
hopefully I still have that opportunity.
Yep.
Okay, Wheatley
Okay,
Drive.
Wheatley Drive.
Now, this isn't just about tree cutting, this is about something else.
Well,
I went to, we had a report from a citizen that there was a lot of work going on the property. And
I drove
they
by
were
and-
cutting, and I didn't see it myself, but I heard that there was sodding going on between the house and the lake.
True.
Not true?
Not true.
Okay, all right, well, that's, we just received the information we
So
received.
the tree cutting is between the house and the road?
Yes.
The tree cutting is along
That's
the
all I could
driveway.
see when I drove by.
Yeah.
And they, I saw a whole bunch of trees that were ready to be planted.
We planted 320 arborvitaes,
Okay.
all along the property, all along the fence that Mrs. Goldman put
You're
in.
gonna love them.
No, Little giants, they said they're not supposed to eat them, hopefully.
Come back in 2
so-
years and tell me how they do.
I know, but that's what you wanted, but I've got three trees.
First year, they didn't eat mine either.
We planted 320 so far.
So we were concerned that the amount of disturbance that was, that went on was more than 10,000 square feet, and I would say that it
Do you have the
was.
dimensions of the disturbance that went on?
I know what I caught.
I've only been involved with this aspect in the past 48 hours. I can't tell you how much disturbance. I created a septic system plan that was approved by Tri-Town Health Department.
Right.
That was my initial involvement with septic system design associated with work at the property. They're putting an addition on, they're doing a guest house. So my septic system design was for that. I learned at the end of last week, there was a question from the Conservation Commission. So I say past 48 hours, past week, I've learned that there was concern. I have not done anything beyond that. So I can't tell you what disturbances occurred. I haven't been to the property in probably 2 months. I was out there maybe 2 months ago, give or take.
We probably cleared about 5,000 square feet.
So you don't think it was, you
No.
don't think it reached the threshold of 10? Okay.
I've got measurements, pictures, everything.
All right, well, that's what we needed to know, because obviously you were replanting and there were a lot of trees.
Yeah, you were there when my son-in-law was cutting.
Right,
You saw the other
Yeah.
side, we replanted.
Yeah.
Mrs. Goldman plans on putting $100,000 in trees in there.
all right. Well, that's what we needed to know. And we,
Just on FYI, I drove down there today, and about 100 yards from where the fence is, there's kiwi vine growing along the road.
I assume that's invasive.
Oh, yeah.
Very
extremely,
What little I know about vines, they're.
There's an extreme number of invasives in this area as
Yeah,
well. And already a stranglehold on.
the kiwi will kill all your lovely plants that
It'll
you're putting
spread really
in.
fast.
And if you look at what's existing, the number of dead trees that are strangled, you know what it looks like. It's pretty bad in there.
Yeah. So what they were doing appeared to me to be a definite improvement over.
Yeah,
what
all
was
the
there
invasives
before.
are out. but-
But we just needed to know the square footage so that we would know whether you needed to do a stormwater permit. It wasn't, the stormwater permit doesn't necessarily mean that you can't, or doesn't necessarily mean you can't do the work. It just means that we need to have an oversight.
Understand.
I had one question. I think somewhere in here it said, there was a letter from Miss Deanne from Natural Heritage saying that it was exempt. And I didn't.
You're looking at me, but I didn't do anything with Conservation Commission permitting or natural heritage for this project.
Not usually need that.
I did for 20 Ice Glen Road.
Stormwater is not.
So for 20 Ice Glen Road, she
a
did.
state thing, it's a town thing.
So the NOI is for,
We did an RDA for 20 Ice Glen Road where Miss Deanne did comment.
right, and but.
That's the other side of town.
This is 11.
11 Wheatley Drive we're talking about.
What we're talking about. Okay,
That doesn't involve us.
No.
then it's
Two
all,
separate things.
then it's all fine, and thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for your help.
Thank you, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So keep an eye out for those invasives.
Yeah, get rid of that kiwi before it kills
We're getting rid of
us.
as much as we can, trust me.
Do we want this?
It's up to you. How much paperwork do you need though? I mean,
You want to keep that?
No.
I can give you one, I've got plenty.
You need another milk crate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay.
stick around for 20 Ice Glen or
Yes.
is that done with?
No, go.
Do it.
Okay. 20 Ice Glen Road, hi, Matt Hunter from SK Design. We submitted an RDA to replace an upgrading septic system that failed for an existing house. The upgraded system is to accommodate the size of the existing house. No additional flow, no bedroom, no increase in bedrooms. I suggest it's as simple and straightforward as a septic system can go. Here's a slightly colored plan just to kind of walk everyone through it.
Show me where the existing
The existing system's down here somewhere.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's northwest of the house. I don't know if an official Title V must have been done because people don't voluntarily like to fail their septic systems.
We were there.
Are you sure?
You know, they don't, it's expensive to fix. The wetlands was ID'd by,
3, we did.
Emily?
Emily, thank you so much. Emily Stockman did the wetlands ID. That's green. Yellow is the buffer zone. So you can see the buffer zone kind of cuts through our septic field. That's where the pass and perk tests were done by Hill. It's uphill of the house. It's arguably as far away as you can get. There's no proposed tree removal. We're basically staying in a lawn area. We're gonna squeeze in a new septic tank, a new pump chamber, run up the hill and pump up to the septic field. I do have Tri-Town Health approval for this one also, that I think I shared.
Is there an alarm on the uphill, on the septic?
On the pump.
Well, the pump chambers always have alarms. I'm not sure if that's what you were asking, yeah. We do that in case the pump fails.
Right.
It's too high, the alarm kicks on.
And there's somebody to answer the alarm?
It's usually an audio visual alarm that if someone's living there, they are notified. If no one's living there, then there's no use, right? Generally, right? In theory, there's no flow coming from the house if no one's living there. In theory, unless there's a leaky toilet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And hopefully no pumps fail. So we submitted an RDA. That's really the short version of it. And I apologize for being late. I was in Otis.
So now can I ask my question?
Oh, please, feel free. Oh, sure.
So do we have a copy of that letter? It said somewhere in here. Letters.
If I'm doing my job, I included it or emailed it. If I'm not doing my job, then I missed it, and I can definitely forward it. So if I put it in writing,
Paperwork, I can't get it.
I can probably pull it up on my phone, not to delay everyone.
Get it to us.
I put it in writing, but I didn't give you the actual copy.
Okay, thank you.
I have two.
If you could send it to us, Matt, that'd be great.
Sure. Yeah, upgrading of a failed septic system is, not to put words in their mouth, is exempt from the requirements of natural heritage. So that's my spiel. I'm happy to answer questions or whatever you would like to do next.
They always like replacements of failed septic systems.
Oh, so just to clarify, and I actually found it. It said per correspondence because it's an email. It's not an actual letter attached to the email, but I have it right here. I can forward it to Sally right now. If you
Yeah, that'd be great. We can throw it in the pile.
It seemed to be a very cut and paste. Sometimes you ask questions just for straight answers and they just cut and paste the regulations and say, figure it out yourself. It wasn't quite that extreme, but I understood it as she implied. The email. Okay, just sent.
Great, thank
And
you.
I can read it off real.
I believe you.
Okay.
As long as you say, as long as we have it on file. That's fine. Thank you.
In short, she said, if all the work will occur within existing lawfully created lawn, a very technical term, it's probably exempt using one or more of the following exemptions. And then she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different exemptions. I think we meet at least one of those.
You're shaking your head. Thank you.
Got a thumbs up from David.
Thank you, Dave.
All right.
A motion.
Close. This motion, I'll make a motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No digging.
Thank you. So is that a negative determination?
Yep.
I don't want a positive, I want a negative. Thank you.
Go.
Well, they won't start digging that quick. We still have an appeal period technically.
Okay.
The determination, will that be emailed to me, please? Or email or mail?
We have stopped giving them to the applicants because they lose them.
For the owners, yeah.
Yeah.
The representatives,
Owners.
representatives are better.
'Cause they-
Actually, even an email works because it doesn't need to be recorded in the registry. So
Right.
Email.
They lose them otherwise.
I totally agree with you. Thank you very much.
And then they come back when they want to sell the property and go,
They can't find the certificate of compliance.
Find anything.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
all right, Ben. You get to be number 2 on filing our,
Oh, yeah.
No, Marie is an observer.
She's exempt.
Nope.
I'm supposed to fill something out, is that?
Yeah, so the thing that we have this new tree cutting form. You can always email me and I will send it to you. Hopefully it will get up on the website in the town soon. We do need, I talked to Mr. Witt and I did not talk to Mr. Crowley, is that his name?
Yeah, probably.
But we need to have permission from the actual owner of the property.
Well, they all own their own units, so that's.
But they don't own the land around the building.
Yeah, I don't think that could be a problem, I think.
Well,
they could sign a note or a letter that saying that they.
Is there a,
There's a homeowners association.
yeah, is there,
They have a homeowner?
is it an association? Like the president of the association or the property manager?
That's Mr. Crowley, I think.
Probably, yeah. But they all own their units, it's free and outright, it's owned.
The problem I was having was, had a call from, well, whatever his name is now.
Witt? Mr. Witt?
Yeah. One tenant or owner
That's Mr. Witt, I'm pretty sure.
wanted to cut the trees down, and I
Right.
said, I don't have an issue with it, but you're not the owner of the trees.
Yeah. One of the properties, right?
All right. It's a condo association that,
So there should be a board of trustees for the condo association?
Well, I guess that was brought up, but I guess there's not really a board, they don't really meet at any type of regular.
I think-
everybody can't say, well, I want to cut that one. This guy says, I want to cut that one.
No,
Somebody's got to take,
There's just these trees that are, mainly it's, there's 3 trees. One is completely dead and is leaning towards the home.
Towards the carriage house, right?
Sorry?
Yeah, towards the carriage house,
Carriage
yeah.
house, yes, thank you. And then there's 2 larger trees in the back of the house. And one is a ash tree, which is completely dead. And the other is a red oak that's kind of it's a forest tree, so everything behind it blocked out the sun, so there's really no limbs going into the woods. It's all growing towards the clearing of the light where the carriage house is. And so it's just heavy one particular way, which is the house. And then there's the stream that goes and undermined the root ball. So it's gone halfway, if not, I don't know how that stream is, we have a lot of water like we did yesterday. But it definitely gets
This
quite a bit
stream is
bigger.
right there. Yeah.
And he's really, and once I looked at it, I could understand his concern, just because I couldn't see, when I got down on my hands and knees, and I could not see where the end of the root ball was. It just kind of disappeared into of course, there was water obviously flowing underneath it, so.
And how would they get, I mean, we need to see it, but how would they get the equipment down there?
Well, that's the problem, there's no real, they wanted to keep the brush it would be climbed, the long and short of it. There's quite a few trees around it, if it's really bad, we could rig and base, tie in from the surrounding trees and then rig off the existing tree. Everything basically comes down inside the footprint.
is there access for a vehicle or anything behind there?
There's 2 openings in the fence. We'll have to get rid of the brush.
Steep.
It's going down towards Brook.
Yeah, it's very steep going.
And what's the address of this?
And it's soft.
The knoll.
Shamrock, you can see it from Shamrock, it's behind the
It's
knoll.
the knoll though, which is the big.
But it's steep going down to that little stream.
It's got kind of a weird, when you go off of Shamrock Street into the woods, it's also really soft.
Yeah.
By that area.
Very soft.
Depending on what kind of truck, which is usually pretty big when talking about tree trucks.
Yeah, so it's a.
But it's 57 Main Street is the knoll.
We see it.
Yeah.
So I think we want to do a site visit on Monday. Are you
I
free?
can send pictures of it too,
Yeah, that'd be great.
The thing I really wanted to do is,
3 and 4.
Can I grab that form too?
4:30.
I'm getting my coat.
It's a work in progress, the form.
Okay.
Make sure.
I was trying to find it, I couldn't
Yeah,
find it.
yeah, it's not up yet.
The thing that was really bugging me with that dead sugar maple, it was so much so I put some rigging lines into it so it would guide the tree from, because the base of it's really pretty dead. The whole thing is, the bark's starting to fall off of it. And once I looked at it,
So the pine that came down across the street, did that come down in that big storm? It's a pine that looks like it was struck by lightning, big.
oh, on Shamrock Street?
Yeah.
I didn't see any lightning, I looked at that, and I'm surprised all the rest of them didn't come down.
It came down after
They're all
a
covered
big,
in.
big storm.
That's on the Lanús property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like, so I didn't go into the property and look.
Yeah.
But it could have been some wind or a microburst.
Yeah, it could have been wind.
It was a completely healthy tree.
Yeah.
All the way down to where it broke. And that was
Big tree.
good 100+ tree that just went off.
All right, we're gonna try to get there Monday at 4:30, Monday on the 2nd.
Do you think there's anything we could do for that maple tree in between then, just to maybe lighten it somewhat, just to get some weight off of it? I'm just really worried if another storm comes through, even if it's guyed up the way it is. I just want to relieve the pressure of the trunk, because if it goes right in.
He's gonna
windows.
be the representative of the association, I guess, if that's what it is.
Yeah, if we can can we get an email from Mr. Crowley saying that it's okay?
Absolutely.
That would be good.
Just that it's okay for what do you want it worded, just okay.
That the tree, that as the representative of the association, that the removal of those trees is permitted.
Pending approval from the Conservation.
Yeah. That basically that you or he are applying to us for removal of the trees.
Right. And it
And
saves
you're
your
taking
bacon
ownership.
too, because he's given permission officially.
Yeah, right. I mean, between the two, some of them, I mean, he was, Mr. Witt was ready to do whatever he could, but he's pretty frustrated by it.
He's
Yeah,
talked to a bunch of people apparently.
numerous times.
Hopefully this will calm him down some. So is there any possibility of me being able just to kind of lighten the load on that sugar maple that's on the side of the house?
Where it is, or
Yeah, I think we need to see it, because I don't know how you're gonna, I'm not sure where the sugar maple is and how you're gonna get down there.
Should we go see it tomorrow?
It's on the west side, on the side.
We don't go as a group, we go individually.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so the
Wednesday.
posting.
Oh, the posting thing.
Well, some of us are gonna stop in and take a look at the maple tree.
Okay.
Try to call back to the Concom office in a couple days,
Okay.
and we'll give you some sort of answer.
Do I have an email for you, Ben?
I don't think so. It's native arborist B @gmail.com. Do you have Derek's email, Derek Witt's email?
No. I have his phone number, but I don't have his email.
It's dwitt.
2 Ts?
13@gmail.com.
Did you hear 2 Ts and wet?
2 Ts.
Did you say you have pictures on your phone?
Yeah, I'm trying to find them here. There's a lot of tree damage I've been taking pictures of, some for the insurance, some.
You can see it right from the road,
And did you see it from Shamrock or did you drive in?
from Shamrock, yeah.
See, where's the water everyone's talking?
Water's down.
It's really soggy.
It's from.
It's really soggy.
It's a
And
perennial.
there's I walk
Oh, yeah, I walk
by
by
It goes all the way down to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I go up
It's,
and there's
river
swampy,
regulations.
It's from,
swampy area up
Yeah.
there.
It may not be.
Here's where the issue is though.
I know, but I think all of it just
It's
is
just rolling
soggy.
downhill.
Yeah. It's like really soggy.
I said it may not be big, but it's comprehensive.
Yeah.
It's always going.
And there's
Yeah,
like
it's
little
year-round.
streams in that area.
And it has a huge headwater that goes up into the Marions, comes down the road and goes, I don't know where it goes.
That's the oak tree. You can kind of see the way it just goes underneath it.
Wow.
They're big trees.
Oh,
I couldn't,
it's almost down now,
it's halfway through at least.
The one,
I'll show you.
Oh,
in the
wow.
right direction, it'll probably go over them.
Yeah, I've seen it.
The only thing saving it is probably the woods behind it.
Yeah, it's got a big anchor down.
It's leading into it.
That's, hopefully it's got a root ball that's really long.
So if you drop them, are you gonna just leave them there?
They want the wood, but I'm not sure if they're the log might have to go. They might,
It's a beautiful, I mean, we
it's a
need.
gorgeous tree. It's a really gorgeous tree.
And it's a beautiful site. I mean, I would really advocate to just drop them and leave them.
I'm not just,
We're gonna look at it.
yeah, I know they want the wood for firewood. So, I mean, that would go pretty quickly, I think.
The branches. They're not
Branches,
gonna-
well, they're
They're
gonna,
gonna want that log for firewood, probably.
no, the log's got, if it was on the ground, it's probably 4 or 5 feet off the ground. If it was to lay down on the ground,
Yeah.
it's huge. I'm gonna break out the big bar for that, that one. I don't know, if I find it, one of the sugar maple,
But the sugar maple's the one you're concerned with, right? That's the one you want?
yeah, that's the one, it's got a real list to it.
And is it leaning over house as we speak?
It's leaning towards the house, and the crown of the maple tree is just gonna go right into a pair of the windows, the double pane, the big ornate windows.
Okay, we can look at it.
And that's why I put some bull ropes
Right.
just to guy it back, but
That one.
it's a sugar maple too. so
I would
it's
be in
extremely heavy
favor of
wood.
getting the email as quickly as possible.
It's not
from Mr.
rotten.
Crowley saying
Right,
that it's,
the bark fell off parts of it, but it's
and I
still
would try.
That's all this weight, but you're saying it's not
all
rotten.
the way, all the way. Even when it gets dry, it's still
That's
pretty
fine.
Right.
heavy
That
stuff.
one that's about.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
The rest I want to see.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Stuff, but
So Ben, if you wanna fix the maple so that it doesn't do anything.
just take some weight off of it, just kind of walk up and just kind of pop some limbs off.
That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
But we do need to have the permit from Mr. Crowley.
Crowley, got it.
And we'll still look at the others on
Monday. Beautiful.
4:30.
4:30?
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking of trees down, anybody gone by DeSisto?
Yeah, there's the elm.
That
down.
big huge elm, probably one of the biggest elms around. The storm just took and twisted it and brought it down.
I drive by it all the time. I didn't even notice. I don't know how I missed
Yeah,
that.
it's like way back and you just.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's in front of the house or side of the house.
Okay.
I never would have thought that tree would have just,
Some big winds that are popping up that
just twisted like
I've never
that.
really seen before.
Because elms don't usually break.
What do you do with the log once it's,
Elm?
are you gonna bring it to some site at the town?
Well, it depends, that's not our property, you know,
Oh,
so
okay.
I wouldn't mind having planks out of it though.
Yeah, some of that would be gorgeous. I love the elm.
Yeah, they have all those portable sawmills now that the guys are making.
Oh, right.
Well, they haven't done much in the way of tree work there lately, so. Where are we at? Let me get back to next page. Forestry Commission, do we have a date on that?
Monday.
Monday?
This Monday?
And there's a site visit on the 20th, Stockbridge Mountain. We're going to walk it with the DCR Forester to look at managing for old growth.
Is that the 10th? Is that also the second?
Is it
No,
6 or
that's the-
6:30?
The next meeting is Monday at 6:30, 6:30, but there's a site visit that'll be posted
But what time is it?
October.
What date is the meeting on?
Monday.
The
The
second?
second.
Yeah. But the site visit is Stockbridge Mountain with the DCR Forester to look at managing Stockbridge Mountain for old growth. That's on the 20th, I think at 1 o'clock. That'll
It's a
be posted.
Friday?
It's open to the public, yeah. To come if you can.
All right, tree planting.
Yeah, we need to finalize that because Anthony is really losing his mind.
Rightfully so, it's been a while.
Said one of
Been a couple months, easy. Well, if the ball field doesn't get used as a ball field anymore.
No,
No.
that was, Patrick suggested that. So how many trees did we plant at the foot property?
over the transfer station.
Bird sanctuary? 5?
Any at the golf course?
We
Not that
haven't
I've seen
turned, Laurel Hill never
Okay.
Didn't see any.
said anything
So
about
that
it.
leaves 35 trees.
Well, the electric company didn't have anything to do with those trees at the foot property.
They didn't?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
that was something else?
That was, any
Oh,
preservation.
CPA, yeah. I didn't know whether they, okay, so we still have 40 trees to plant.
Yeah. I've asked the tree warden, I've asked Hugh, the highway department, and I get all the time, we'll get back to you.
So we talked about 20 trees at Gould Meadows, 20 apple trees at Gould Meadows.
or trees.
We talked about 20 trees out here at the ball field.
Right, to split it
We
20.
could bump out away from the tree line that's there now and put in
It goes metal.
trees for
At
real,
which property?
right over here.
Okay.
And again, we're going for the apple orchard idea?
Or just trees.
Patrick was talking about taking down the
Fence.
fence that goes along the river, which shouldn't be there in the first place. There's a chain link fence that runs along the river. There's a pathway that goes from the backside of the ball field over to, what is it, Park Street. So
Really?
there's a path, yeah, there's a walking
I've
path.
been down in there, I didn't,
There's a walking path that goes from the ball field to Park Street.
Yeah.
And all along there, along the river is this chain link fence, which is falling
Yeah, I know,
down and
yeah.
really a mess. And apparently the highway department is okay with getting rid of the fence. And trees could be planted along there.
well, you could do the whole perimeter, really. Just step
But
it
is that
out.
Laurel Hill or Stockbridge?
It's town property,
Okay.
yeah. Patrick researched it, and it was town
Actually, I
property.
think it should be parking lot, but, I know.
Well, after we plant trees, 2 years, they probably will make parking lot, right?
I know, that's the way it works.
That's a nice little path.
So that's what we want to do, plant around on the ball field and then down the
Yeah.
pathway.
You know, if we have to within a year or two, we can move them. That's not the big deal. And you can't let them 20 years and try to move them or anything, but, unless somebody's got another plan,
No.
That's fine.
let's do it, make a park out of it, you
Or
know?
Gould Meadow, do we need any there? No.
No.
No, that sounds
We've,
fine.
we've done plantings at Gould Meadows already. We've done bare root, native trees and
Or at
last
the boat
year.
ramp?
That's not ours to plant.
Oh, right. That is right.
That sounds fine. And the window's closing for the time.
And Anthony's going to be really excited if we get
All
this
right,
done.
let's do it down there. If we have to, if we have a place for 5, we can pull 5 out of there within a year or two easily. Have somebody dig them and put them in. I can dig them and put them in.
So
These are gonna be bare rooted trees anyway.
so we have to get them and pull that fence real quick then, right?
No,
Oh, okay,
you can get around it.
okay.
We'll just, somebody have to meet somebody over there and describe what we want to do. But that's a big area, 40 trees, you could probably space them out 15 feet apart, maybe more.
Okay.
So one question on here, I didn't see, did the enforcement order or the railroad letter go out?
No, because Ron wasn't here and I couldn't get it to format. I've got to still work on that. I tried to print it out down here like 5 times. It kept coming up like this big. So I need that, so I had trouble formatting the letter, David. And when I took out the comment thing, but when I went to print it, it still printed a big like corner thing. and then it made it really tiny and skinny, and I
Okay,
could
so.
not get it to format down here.
Sally, do you have a form letter with Stockbridge letterhead that you can send me, like a template that I could just do it and get it camera ready for Ron to just sign?
Okay, I mean, I have the letterhead, I just needed to reformat the letter, and I couldn't do it on this computer here for some reason, I don't know
Yeah,
why.
if you can send me a file, which is a letterhead, which is otherwise blank, I'll take care of it.
Okay.
And so will
awesome.
you change the dates? Because I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I changed the date and everything, but I just could not get it, I could not get it to print.
So that should take care of it. And then you'll get it to Ron Town.
I'll get it to Ron
Get it to here.
back via email. And he can print it out and sign it. And if that doesn't work, I will print it out and I'll bring it out to Stockbridge when I pick up the plans for 13 Rattlesnake Mountain Road.
The reason that I was thinking that I needed to print it myself was because the paper is colored paper. It's not black and white.
Oh, our letterhead.
Our letterhead,
What is it, like a cream colored type of thing?
it's more than cream. It's cream bordering on tan.
Okay. If you can give me a rough idea, I can.
And the letterhead itself is brown, so.
Okay. If you can just give me the letterhead template, I'll
Okay.
stick the information in there. I'll get it back to you guys. If for some reason you can't print it out, we'll.
I'm sure I can print it, I just could not get it to reformat, and I don't know why. If you can copy and paste the text to me, I'll make sure, I'll print it. Just send it in an email and
I
I'll.
can just send, Sally, I can just send it to you in Word format. You can just copy and paste
Exactly.
it yourself.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
With no comments and stuff.
Okay.
That would be perfect. Okay, I can do that. And then I'll leave it for you.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've had some brief conversation with, I didn't bring the paperwork and stuff, but I'm trying to get permission to burn Gould Meadows this fall. DCR, somebody has a crew.
It's usually DCR.
DCR has a crew that'll come out with the little drip things and start the fire, and I or the fire chief will have to have a crew there to stand by. But if you've gone by Gould Meadows, it's semi-mowed. If it ever dries up enough, they'll mow the whole thing, and if it dries up enough, then we'll burn it off, because there's 40 years worth of brush hogging and no real haying anymore, though one section got hayed. So it'll get rid of ticks, some ticks, not many, but some. It'll green things up, and it'll get rid of a lot of the invasive vegetation that keeps coming back even after we mow it, so. That's in the works. I don't know when I'll hear. I was surprised I got a call back the same day even, so. Something else we were working on down there. Oh, the Mary Flynn marker that was gonna go into the tree. I started this at Memorial Day and I still haven't gotten.
She was a local lady that.
She was the instigator of buying the Gold Medal property.
Okay.
She was also selectman for years and years and years. She was a formidable human being.
There's a Mary Flynn Trail right behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been up there 6 times at the Marker Memorial Place and gotten nowhere so far. But
Hi, Ducky.
doesn't mean it's not gonna happen, because he had her as a teacher, the guy that runs it.
Oh, you better look out, she'll come and haunt him.
Few suspensions.
No
You
relation.
don't want Mary Flynn coming and haunting you.
And the other guy that works in the office also had her for a teacher, and there's a big age difference between the two of them, so.
Yeah, she taught it. She taught
Wacona.
at here too, I think.
Yeah, Wacona's
Yeah.
where she was most of
She
the.
taught at Wacona. She was my history teacher.
Yeah, was she?
Oh,
Interesting.
buddy.
Taught everybody.
She was formidable.
So that's two things going on at Gould Meadows.
Great.
As for planting trees, apple trees would just get decimated.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fine. This is a good alternative.
So I went to the planning board meeting on Tuesday.
I heard that. I didn't get details, but I heard.
And had a very nice discussion about things that we think are important and things that if they're considering doing some rezoning or revising their zoning, that, I've been harping on this for 25 years, that we need to be planning for climate change when we do our zoning, and we talked about that, and we talked about the importance of enforcing the 35-foot buffer between the waterways and the lawns, and the walkway from the property to they're allowed a 35-foot. I went through the whole zoning thing and had little stickers all over. I scared the daylights out of everybody when I hauled it out.
Stickers.
Stickers, like,
If they behave, you give them a gold one, or?
like on the side saying that this was interesting, and I highlighted everything, and I saw a couple of people go, ugh, but anyway. So it was a very productive meeting, I thought.
I
And
thought so too. It was just, we didn't do anything about this because it was just to get ideas of what people felt needed to be done. And, Kate made a list of the items we talked about.
And there was also.
Thank you so much for coming, because I could never have said what concerns you the way you said it.
Yeah, well, it was my pleasure.
I'm so glad you came.
It was also really interesting because when I went through the zoning bylaws, there were quite a few things that surprised me because I hadn't really focused in on it that way. And we'll talk about it another time because there were, I don't know, bring in my little thing with all the little stickers. Because there's some things that we've been beating our heads against the wall for, and they're already in the regulations. So that was
nice to hear.
interesting to me.
Good.
There was 2 days or something about something or other that was, I don't know. Anyway.
Good.
So
Any other business?
just a quick question, how do you zone for climate change? What are you looking to?
Well, I think that what we're looking at now, what's now the buffer zone, is soon going to be a resource area. I mean, it keeps getting wetter and the water gets higher, and right now we're allowing people to put septic systems in places where I feel very strongly that they're going to be inundated with water in the not too distant future. And so if you figure that a septic system has a 30-year lifespan, in 30 years, that septic system may well fail.
And I would add, our performance standards with greater protection for the buffer zone is doing that. To offer more protection for the buffer zone.
And so it would be nice if we were kind of all in sync about that. And just, the importance of the vegetation, the 35-foot buffer, which is in the zoning bylaws already. But the importance of that and why we need to really harp on that and keep it so that, it was interesting today when Shannon was talking about the Hahn property, and she was talking about putting the vegetated buffer in to keep the geese off.
Right.
Lawn. I mean, this is a big deal that I think people don't necessarily understand, that if there's a low vegetated buffer like this, they can still see out their window, they can still see the lake or the river or whatever they're looking at. But the geese are not going to come trotting up on their property.
Right.
So it has twofold. And when they have a walkway or an entrance to the waterway. It's supposed to be at a 30-degree angle.
Right, the serpentine down. And
Yeah, so it doesn't erode.
Right.
And both of those things are really important from our standpoint for, you know, avoiding siltation and all that kind of stuff.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Good.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.